If you are tired of going in circles, you've been doing everything you can to change your situation. You've read self-help books, binged motivational clips, mapped out goals, and tried to stay optimistic, but nothing seems to last. Let this sink in for a moment. Two people lose their jobs. One crumbles, blames the system, hates his manager, and falls into despair. The other one rises early, sharpens his skills, and rebuilds from scratch. Same setback, two completely different paths. Why? The truth is raw and simple. Life doesn't defeat us. Our mindset does. That's why Stoic thinking matters more than ever. In a world buzzing with drama, excuses, and emotional fragility, Stoicism puts the power back in your hands, not in your emotions, not in society, not in your history. Changing your life doesn't begin with your job, your relationships, or your bank account. It starts with your thoughts. Align your thinking, and everything else adjusts. But be warned, the rules we're about to walk through are not gentle suggestions. These are tough, blunt truths that hit you where it hurts. They aren't for the thin-skinned. They're for those who are tired of being stuck, tired of drifting, tired of falling apart whenever life pushes back. If that's you, you're in the right place. This video covers 10 Stoic rules that will help you reclaim your emotional control, your habits, your vision, and your life. Each rule draws from the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, and the core tenets of Stoicism, but they're translated into everyday language you can apply right now. No philosophy degree needed. We're going deep into mental toughness, emotional clarity, self-discipline, and the uncomfortable process of transforming into your highest version. Every rule includes a real Stoic quote, not just as decoration, but as a compass to live by. So, before we get into the first principle, here's your call to action. If you're ready to stop blaming everything outside you and start owning your growth, if you're ready to master your mind instead of letting it master you, then type this in the comments. I refuse to be ruled by emotions. Also, hit like, share this with someone who needs truth instead of fluff, subscribe for more Stoic insights, and whatever you do, don't skip ahead. Every rule connects to the next. Every one of them has the power to reshape how you live. Let's begin. Rule 1. Cut ties with your weakness. Build your character one deliberate act at a time, and be satisfied if each action is performed as best it can be. No one can stop you from this. Marcus Aurelius. One of the biggest errors people make when trying to improve themselves, they bargain with their weakness. They say things like, "One more nap won't ruin everything," or "I'll start eating clean tomorrow," or "This is the last time I'll text them." But here's the cold reality. Every time you bargain with weakness, it gains ground. And over time, weakness becomes your identity. Understand this. The strongest version of you, disciplined, confident, focused, isn't some hidden force waiting to be unlocked. It's already there, but it's being suffocated by a lifetime of excuses, comfort, and emotional indulgence. You won't become that person if you give in every time life gets rough. You won't rise if you fold when boredom, loneliness, or discomfort show up. The Stoics grasped this perfectly. They didn't chase ease, they trained in discomfort. They knew every struggle faced, every temptation resisted was a victory for their soul. Now ask yourself, when your alarm rings, do you rise like a warrior or hit snooze because you don't feel like it? When anxiety hits, do you breathe through it or bury yourself in distractions? When an old habit comes knocking, do you stand firm or say, "Just one more time"? Here's the unfiltered truth. You won't repair your life until you eliminate the version of you that constantly rationalizes weakness. There's no peace without grit, no greatness without cost. No mental strength without confronting your inner enemy and declaring, "Not today." Every moment you delay your transformation, you aren't just losing time, you're betraying who you could become. So next time you're tempted to stay in bed, message someone toxic, or waste another day, don't overthink, don't justify, don't excuse it. Rise, reject it, choose strength over comfort, because that's how warriors are built, choice by choice, action by action. And it doesn't matter how far you've fallen. Once you stop negotiating with your weakness, you begin to heal. Now type this in the comments. No more deals with weakness. I choose strength. Rule 2. Take command of your reactions or be ruled by them. It's not events themselves that trouble us, but how we interpret them. Epictetus. Picture this. Two people hear the exact same insult. One laughs it off like it's a joke. The other holds on to it for weeks like it was a personal wound. Same words, same context. Two completely different inner worlds. Why? Because it's never the insult that stings. It's your interpretation that does the damage. It's not the breakup, the delay, the failure, or the criticism that breaks you. It's how you respond to it. The truth? Most people live like puppets on emotional strings. Their peace is so fragile, it gets stolen by traffic, bad moods, social media comments, or one offhanded remark. They surrender their emotional stability to things they cannot influence. But Stoicism flips that mindset on its head. You can't dictate everything life throws your way, but you can dictate how you handle it. That's the game changer. Every time you lash out, spiral, overthink, or shut down because of something external, you're handing over your power. Even worse, you become predictable, easy to provoke, easy to manipulate. Say the right word and you explode. That's not strength, it's emotional slavery. Is that the kind of life you want? Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You control your mind, not the chaos around you. Know this, and you'll find true strength." So how do you start taking back control? Step 1. Slow down. When something triggers you, pause, breathe, step back mentally. Ask yourself, what part of this is actually within my influence? If the answer is none, then your job is to manage your internal response. Step 2. Separate what's real from what's emotion. He was rude, that's a fact. I'm not good enough. That's a story you're telling yourself. Learn to separate stimulus from story. Step 3. Choose peace deliberately. Peace doesn't mean avoidance, it means inner steadiness. It means knowing your response is always your responsibility, even when life seems wildly unfair. People who learn to control their emotional reactions are dangerous in the best way possible. Why? Because they're immune to provocation. They stay composed under pressure. They think clearly when others lose their grip. And the best part? This isn't something you're born with. It's a skill you can build, like lifting weights for the mind. Every moment you choose not to overreact, every time you hold your center, you're proving to yourself, I am not my emotions, I am their master. So the next time someone pokes at your patience or tries to get a rise out of you, remember this. Their behavior has no power unless you hand it to them. Their words don't define you, but how you answer absolutely does. You want to fix your life. Stop treating your peace like a public auction. Guard it like a fortress. Respond like a warrior, planning every move, sharp, intentional, unshakable. Because the one who rules their reactions owns their reality. Now say this in the comments. My peace belongs to me. I refuse to give it away. Rule 3. Do what's difficult, especially when you don't want to. If you aim to grow, be willing to be seen as naive or foolish. Epictetus. Let's get brutally real. Most people already know what they need to do to change their lives. Get up earlier, stop procrastinating, cut ties with toxic people, exercise, learn, set boundaries, be consistent. The knowledge is there, but the action isn't. Why? Because those actions are uncomfortable. Because their emotions speak louder than their discipline. That's the core issue. Ancient Stoics didn't wait to feel ready. In fact, they trained themselves to expect resistance. They saw hardship as a gym for the soul, a place to build inner power. They knew that if you only act when you feel like it, you'll never create a life of purpose. Let's be honest, motivation won't always be there. Discipline must take its place. The difference between someone who changes and someone who stays stuck is simple. The weak wait for inspiration. The strong act from principle. Motivation is fleeting. Discipline is chosen. Every time you force yourself to do what's hard, even when your feelings say no, you reinforce your mental resilience. You tell yourself, I don't need perfect conditions to make powerful moves. Dragging yourself to the gym when you're tired, that's a win. Having the conversation you've been avoiding, that's courage. Leaving behind what's comfortable to confront fear, that's real strength. Seneca once said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about how many battles you've lost in your head before even trying. How many goals you've postponed, not because they were unreachable, but because they were hard. If you want to upgrade your life, you need to stop avoiding struggle. Start leaning into it. Face it head on, because the discomfort you dodge today becomes tomorrow's regret. Here's the cold truth. The perfect moment to change will never arrive. There will always be an excuse to wait. But the cost of delay is time you'll never get back. So what's the answer? Show up anyway. Do the work. Tired, unmotivated, doubting and all. You don't need applause. You don't need the right mood. You need consistent action. And when your body resists, when your emotions moan, when your thoughts try to talk you out of it, double down. Because those exact moments are where true strength is created. Remember this, you have two choices. Endure the pain of discipline today, or carry the pain of regret forever. Either way, discomfort will be part of the equation. Only one of those paths leads to the life you want. Stop wishing it were easy. Stop hoping for shortcuts. Real transformation is messy, lonely, painful, but worth it. Every hard decision today builds a softer, freer tomorrow. Every challenge faced now becomes a triumph you'll be proud of later. Now drop this affirmation in the comments. Discipline over feelings. I do what must be done. Rule 4. Silence the noise and take back your focus. If your energy is scattered everywhere, you'll end up nowhere. Seneca. Let's be honest, we live in an era of constant distraction. Your phone pings, social media screams, headlines provoke. Everyone wants your attention. And then we wonder why we're anxious, unmotivated, and mentally exhausted. But here's the hard truth. You can't improve your life if your attention is fractured. One of the most powerful but toughest Stoic principles is this. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. The Stoics weren't just about toughness, they were about clarity. Marcus Aurelius didn't say, do everything at once. He wrote, dedicate every moment like a Roman, focused, sincere, and purposeful. Not scrolling, not multitasking, focusing, deeply and with intent. Now ask yourself, how often are you truly locked in on what matters? How much of your day is spent creating, learning, building? And how much is wasted on doom scrolling, reacting, or obsessing over things that do nothing to move your life forward? It's not just a focus problem, it's a direction problem. Because where your attention goes, your life follows. And the painful truth? Most people aren't addicted to being lazy. They're addicted to stimulation, to noise, to never sitting still. They check their phones 10 times in 1 minute. They can't sit in silence. They can't commit long enough to master anything. And if that's you, this isn't judgment. It's your wake-up call. Because a distracted mind leads to a diluted life. So how do you take control? Step 1. Remove the digital clutter. Turn off notifications. Limit your time on social platforms. Use your device as a tool, not a chain. Step 2. Create sacred time for deep focus. Just 60 distraction-free minutes a day devoted to your most meaningful task. This is where confidence grows. This is where clarity returns. Step 3. Strengthen your focus muscle. Practice being fully present when eating, walking, reading. The more you do, the more natural focus becomes. The world will keep trying to pull you in every direction, but you decide where your mind lives. The Stoic doesn't chase noise. The Stoic selects with precision, because a focused man or woman is unstoppable. They build, they lead, they execute. Here's the real deal. Your ability to transform your life is directly linked to how well you manage your attention. The chaos will never stop, but your focus can become unshakable. So today, remove what doesn't serve you. Kill the distractions. Give your time to the things that actually shape your destiny. Now write this in the comments. I own my focus. My attention builds my future. Rule 5. Stop looking for validation. Give yourself permission to rise. It's astonishing. We love ourselves most, yet we often value other people's opinions more than our own. Marcus Aurelius. Let that one hit you hard. We claim we want to grow. We say we want to become strong, independent, and untouchable. Yet we hesitate. We second guess. We hold back. Why? Because we're afraid of being judged. Because we want to fit in. Because we wait for others to approve our transformation. But here's the hard truth. Stoicism forces us to face. No one is going to hand you permission to evolve, and you don't need it anyway. You can't elevate your life while waiting for applause, because what most people won't tell you is this: the more you improve, the more resistance you'll attract, and not just from enemies, but from friends, family, people you thought would cheer for you. Why? Because your discipline makes their laziness obvious. Your confidence makes their insecurity louder. Your growth disturbs their comfort. So what do? They joke about your progress. They question your choices. They try to pull you back to the version of you they're comfortable with. But you weren't born to please the crowd. You were born to live with integrity. A Stoic doesn't adjust their path for applause. They walk with virtue, not popularity. With truth, not trend. Epictetus said it best. If you want to grow, you must accept being seen as foolish or strange. That means if you're scared of judgment, ridicule, or being misunderstood, you'll never level up. You'll stay small, play it safe, remain average, just to be liked. Let's cut to it. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is required to believe in you. No one owes you encouragement. The only approval you'll ever need is your own. The day you stop begging for permission is the day you take back your power. Because now, you no longer wait, you act. You don't seek validation, you validate yourself. You don't explain your every move, you let results speak. So what if they mock your new mindset? So what if they don't get your boundaries, your focus, or your silence? You weren't made for shallow minds, you were built to rise above them. If walking this path means walking it alone, then so be it. Walk it with pride. because greatness is often misunderstood. And that's okay. The road to power is not crowded, it's quiet, focused, and self-defined. So stop apologizing, stop explaining, stop shrinking. You don't need a green light. You just need to decide that you're done waiting for one. Now type this in the comments. I no longer seek approval. I give myself permission to rise. Rule 6. Harness the strength of silence. Say less, mean more. Let silence be your first instinct. Speak only when necessary and briefly. Epictetus. We live in an age where everyone's talking, but almost no one is listening, where people want to appear wise more than they want to become wise. The result? Endless noise, shallow opinions, loud distractions, weak minds. But the Stoics knew something different, something powerful. Silence isn't a weakness. It's control, it's presence, it's power. Why? Because the one who speaks less listens more, learns faster, thinks deeper, responds rather than reacts, and above all, doesn't leak energy needlessly. Want to elevate your thinking? Start with your mouth. Not every moment deserves commentary. Not every insult requires a rebuttal. Not every idea should be voiced. The more you speak, the more you reveal your doubts, your plans, your emotional state. But when you stay quiet, you become unreadable. And that unpredictability, that strength. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The more we depend on things outside of our control, the less power we have." The first of those things is other people's reactions, and often our own words give them that power. The moment you're constantly explaining yourself, defending your choices, or reacting to criticism, you're not in control. You're chasing validation instead of building strength. Let the world fight to be heard. You remain composed. Let others overshare. You conserve your energy. Silence doesn't mean weakness. It means intention. It means your words matter because you don't waste them. Your silence guards your peace. It shields you from petty arguments, emotional blow-ups, and revealing too much to the wrong people. It protects your strategy from those who would sabotage it. So how do you make silence your ally? Step 1. Resist the need to respond right away. Not every message needs a reply. Not every comment deserves engagement. Give things time to settle. Step 2. Be okay being misunderstood. You don't need to defend your name. You need to build your legacy. Step 3. Focus on becoming, not performing. While others talk about their goals, you quietly build them. While they seek attention, you pursue mastery. The Stoic path is subtle. It doesn't shout. It builds slowly, in private, with purpose. So cut the excess. Stop feeding every conversation with your energy. Stop filling every silence with noise. Let your calm make people uncomfortable. Let your silence confuse the insecure. Let your silence speak volumes about who you are becoming. If you're ready to control your tongue, type this in the comments. I let my silence prove my strength. Rule 7. Take full responsibility. No excuses, no shame. A stone is polished through friction, so too a person is refined by challenges. Seneca. We all stumble. We all mess up. We all carry regrets. The real difference between a life that stays broken and one that's rebuilt is this. Do you face your failures head-on, or do you hide behind excuses? Most people do the latter. They shift blame. They spin the story. They bury their mistakes under distraction, denial, or false optimism. But Stoicism teaches the opposite. The only path to strength is through radical, uncomfortable honesty. So ask yourself, wasted years in a harmful relationship? Own it. Betrayed your own principles? Own it. Lied, procrastinated, self-sabotaged. Own that too. Not with guilt, not with self-hate, but with courage. Shame keeps you stuck. Ownership sets you free. Owning your past doesn't mean you live in it. It means you reclaim power over it. It means saying, yes, I failed. Yes, I fell short. But I won't let that be my ending. That mindset, that's what Stoics are made of. Seneca reminds us, trials, mistakes, scars, these aren't signs of weakness. They're proof you've been in the arena. They show you're learning, evolving, alive. Stop hiding the parts of you that hurt. Those wounds, they're your wisdom now. Stop pretending to be perfect. Perfection is a cage. Growth happens in the mess. Be the person who looks in the mirror and tells the truth, even when it stings, even when it means letting go of who you were. Because here's the truth. You cannot heal if you keep rewriting history to protect your ego. Stand in the fire of self-awareness. Take full responsibility, not just for what happened, but for who you choose to become next. No more cover stories, no more lies, no more running. Own it, rise from it, use it. Drop this in the comments if you're ready to stop pretending and start transforming. I accept my past. I rise with purpose. Rule 8. Discomfort is your guide. Stop avoiding it. Don't wish events to align with your desires. Embrace whatever happens as necessary. Epictetus. Let me give you a truth that could completely change the way you experience life. Discomfort isn't the enemy. It's the instructor. It's the test. It's the pathway. But what do most people do when discomfort appears? They run. They distract themselves. They numb the feeling. Silence scares them, so they flood it with noise. Sadness creeps in, and they reach for food, dopamine, or someone to escape it with. Uncertainty shows up. They panic, spiral, collapse. But growth doesn't live in comfort. It lives beyond it. The Stoics didn't ask for an easy path. They trained for a strong one, because they knew only strength could carry you through a chaotic world. You can't build muscle without pain. You can't build character without adversity. You can't find inner calm if you keep fleeing every emotion that challenges you. Stop trying to run from every tough emotion. Sit with it. Ask it, what's this trying to teach me? What kind of strength is this moment building? Because every failure, delay, heartbreak, and disappointment, it's not a punishment, it's a forge. The Stoic mindset isn't about feeling good. It's about becoming solid, especially when things feel terrible. Marcus Aurelius faced loss, betrayal, plague, and pressure. And still he wrote, "If it can be endured, endure it." Stop complaining. That's not cold. That's clarity. Pain doesn't come to destroy you. It comes to reveal who you are under pressure and who you could be if you stopped running from it. But here's the catch. The lesson only works if you stop escaping. You have to meet pain eye to eye. Not with panic, but with grit. So the next time something hurts, don't resist it. Don't wish it away. Remind yourself, this isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to make me stronger. Because the day you stop fearing discomfort is the day you become a weapon. Calm under fire. Composed in chaos. Resilient through all storms. Type this in the comments if you're done running from hard things. Discomfort is my guide. I choose to face it. Rule 9. Discipline beats motivation. Build it like a habit. No man is truly free unless he commands himself. Epictetus. Let me ask you something tough. Are you actually free, or are you just ruled by your emotions? Most people think freedom means doing whatever you want. But true freedom, It's doing what's necessary, especially when you don't feel like it. That's discipline. And it's the dividing line between the weak and the strong, between the ones who talk and the ones who build. Motivation is unreliable. It's a mood, a spike, a sugar rush, and like all highs, it crashes. Discipline? That's different. Discipline is consistent. Discipline shows up even when it's raining, when you're tired, when no one is watching. The Stoics mastered this long ago. They didn't chase feelings. They followed principles. They trained their minds to act with purpose, even when their emotions begged for rest. Marcus Aurelius kept leading as emperor while grieving, overwhelmed, and exhausted. He didn't wait for inspiration. He fulfilled his duty. Why? Because commitment outranks comfort. That's a Stoic rule, and that's how transformation happens. If you want to change your life, stop chasing hype. Build systems, create habits, set routines that operate whether or not you feel like it. Wake up at a set time, move your body, watch what you consume, mentally and physically. Learn daily, reflect, think, focus, and repeat. It's boring, it's repetitive, but it builds something powerful: identity. You're not going to want to show up every day. That's fine. Do it anyway. Because that's where the gap is closed between who you are and who you want to be. When you rely on motivation, you stay a slave to emotion. When you master discipline, you become unstoppable because you no longer need a reason. You've already decided. That's when you step into power. That's when you build self-respect. That's when you live with intention. So if you're tired of quitting when it gets hard, build discipline. If you're sick of waiting to feel ready, build routine. If you're ready to become dangerous in the best way, build structure. Drop this in the comments if you're done depending on fleeting moods. Discipline is my foundation. I act with intention. Rule 10. Align your actions with who you say you are. Don't waste time debating what a good person should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. It's easy to sit and think, easy to imagine your future self, calm, focused, powerful. But none of that changes anything. Dreams don't rebuild your life. Words don't make you better. Action does. And not just any action, aligned action, intentional action. The Stoics didn't believe philosophy was just for reading. They believed it was a way of life. A true Stoic doesn't just talk about self-control. They practice it in silence. They don't post about discipline. They live it when no one's watching. That's integrity. That's alignment. Most people live in two separate realities. The one in their mind, where they know what's right, and the one they act out, full of contradictions. They say they want peace, yet engage in gossip. They say they want discipline, yet scroll for hours. They say they want growth, yet delay every meaningful task. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your life doesn't reflect what you believe. It reflects what you do. It doesn't matter how many quotes you memorize, how many books you read, or how many plans you make. If your actions don't match your principles, it's all noise. You want change? Stop performing, stop pretending, stop waiting for the right moment. Start living it. If you say you value time, act like it. If you say you're focused, prove it with your habits. If you say you're stoic, train your emotions daily. Don't chase perfection, chase integrity. When your thoughts, words, and actions are in sync, that's when peace shows up. That's where true confidence is born. That's where power lives, not in noise, but in congruence. Marcus Aurelius didn't ponder endlessly about being a great man. He embodied it, right then, in the middle of chaos, in the face of fear. Now, not later. So when life feels unclear, ask yourself this: What would the strongest version of me do right now? Then do exactly that. Let your life speak louder than your words. Let your consistency replace the need for recognition. Let your quiet alignment be your reputation. Because when you live in full alignment with your values, you don't just grow, you become unshakable. You become dangerous, not to others, but to the weakness within. Type this in the comments if you're ready to embody your beliefs. I will live as the person I claim to be. Don't talk your philosophy, live it. Epictetus. Now you've just heard 10 unfiltered Stoic principles designed to reshape how you live. Not surface-level advice, not feel-good fluff, but straight-up truth. The kind that strips away your excuses and forces you to face yourself. If you take these rules seriously, if you apply them day after day, you'll stop living like a victim of your moods and your environment. You'll stop being yanked around by distractions, drama, or temporary feelings. You'll start living with clarity, with strength, with intention. That's how the Stoics lived. Not as cold, emotionless statues, but as grounded, mentally disciplined individuals who refused to be ruled by chaos. They weren't perfect. They didn't need to be. They were consistent. They were focused. They were resilient in a world that tried to shake them. And that's exactly what this path asks of you. And make no mistake, this path is not easy. It's not meant to be. But it's the only one that leads to self-respect, clarity, and true inner freedom. Now it's your move. Don't let this video be just another hit of inspiration you forget by tomorrow morning. Choose one rule, apply it today, then repeat it tomorrow and again the next day. Build momentum, build structure, build yourself, fix your mindset, and your life will follow. The Stoics gave us the blueprint. The rest, that's on you. If something in this message sparked something inside you, drop this final affirmation in the comments. I strengthen my mind. I rebuild my life. And if you want more ancient wisdom turned into modern strength, hit the like button, share this with someone who's ready for real growth, and subscribe for more Stoic strategies. Let's rise together,